There is a brutal truth we cannot escape, a truth that many of us desperately try to ignore, a truth that strikes at the very core of who we are. Pain is the greatest teacher, and yet so many of us run from it. We shy away from it. We numb ourselves, bury it under distractions, comfort, and fleeting pleasures. But here's the cold, unrelenting truth. Pain doesn't care about your comfort. It doesn't care about your excuses. It will find you. Pain is the most honest, the most ruthless force in existence. It doesn't lie. It doesn't soften the blow. Pain exposes you. It strips away the illusions you hide behind, the mask you wear to shield yourself from the truth. It shows you, no, forces you to see who you really are. It shows you your true power, and it shows you your darkness. Huh? She paused again. That one matters, right? When you are crushed under its weight, when you feel like you cannot take one more step, that is when the truth of your strength is revealed. That is when you discover what you're truly made of, what you're capable of when everything seems lost. Take, for example, J.K. Rowling. Before she became a global literary sensation, she was a single mother, living in poverty, battling depression, and rejected by multiple publishers. Her success as a writer was due mainly to the fact that her sense of humor was rejected by multiple publishers. Every no felt like a blow. Each rejection letter a reminder of her struggles. But she didn't quit. She kept writing. She didn't let the pain of failure stop her. And that very struggle gave rise to the Harry Potter series, a legacy that has impacted millions worldwide. She turned her pain into a triumph. Or think of Nelson Mandela, a man who spent 27 years in prison, enduring unimaginable physical and emotional suffering. His body was broken, his freedom stolen. Yet, in the midst of his suffering, Mandela learned the most important lesson of all: forgiveness, resilience, strength through pain. When he walked out of that prison, it was not as a broken man, but as a leader who had embraced his pain to rise above it, to forge a future for a nation. He showed the world that true strength comes when we embrace our darkest hours and use them to propel us forward. Because here's the brutal reality. Pain is not a punishment. It's a forge. It's a crucible that breaks you down so it can rebuild you, stronger than ever before. It doesn't care about your softness. It's not here to coddle you. It is here to transform you. Subconsciously, her strength slowly weakens, and her strategy improves as her condition worsens. Every strike of pain, every agonizing moment forces you to confront your weaknesses. Pain reveals every place you've been hiding, every crack in your armor. It dares you to face the truth about yourself, the parts you've ignored, the parts you've buried. But here's the secret. Every single scar you have, every wound you've suffered, is a mark of your survival. It's a testament to the fact that you've endured, a memory that rarely shows its faithful servant, your real self. You've risen. You didn't break. You became stronger. Take the example of Oprah Winfrey, a woman who, growing up, faced poverty, abuse, and neglect. Life hit her hard, trying to break her down at every turn, but she didn't let it define her. Instead, she rose from her circumstances, embraced her pain, and became one of the most influential figures in modern history. She is the living embodiment of the power of struggle, of rising from the ashes of adversity and turning pain into purpose. But why do we run from it? Why do we hide from it? Why do we desperately cling to anger, to hate, to anything that will keep us from confronting the raw truth that pain reveals? Hate is a crutch, a shield we use to protect ourselves from facing the deep, ugly truths we'd rather not acknowledge. We hold on to hate because it's easier than confronting the emptiness we fear inside. Hate makes us feel powerful. It makes us feel like we have control. It gives us someone to blame. But here's the truth. Hate is a lie. It is a shallow, fleeting relief. It is a distraction from the deep, relentless agony of true self-examination. It convinces you that your suffering is someone else's fault, that there's an enemy to fight, a villain to vanquish. But the reality is, pain doesn't need a villain, huh? Don't believe the lie that strength is something you're born with, that it's a gift. Strength is earned. It is carved out of every single moment when you think you can't go on, but you do anyway. That is where strength is forged. Pain forces you to confront the truth you've tried so desperately to ignore. It forces you to face your darkest fears. It forces you to look at the parts of yourself you've hidden from. And it transforms you in the process. The truth is, most people are terrified of pain because they don't understand it. They think it's their enemy, but pain is not the enemy. It is the greatest ally you will ever have. Pain is the most demanding, most unforgiving, most powerful teacher. And those who listen to its lessons, they rise, they evolve, they become unstoppable. Once you learn to bless it and embrace it, you will learn and live with intense grace. But most people don't see this. They turn away from the pain. They fight it. They run from it. But they are only deceiving themselves. Pain never disappears. It waits. It lurks in the shadows, patient, relentless. And the longer you ignore it, the harder it becomes to bear. It grows, it festers, it grows stronger. Pain teaches you more than anything else in this world ever will. It teaches you endurance, it teaches you resilience, it teaches you how to rise over and over again, no matter how many times life knocks you down, but only if you allow it. Think of Thomas Edison, who failed over 1,000 times before he perfected the light bulb. Most people would have quit long before that, drowning in frustration. But Edison didn't give up. Every failure was simply another step in the journey. This is not your life. This is not your destiny. He used each setback as a lesson, as a moment of growth, and eventually he changed the world with his perseverance. That is the power of pain. Pain is not personal. It is just a force, a transformative fire. And when you release your hate, when you let go of the anger that holds you prisoner, you are forced to confront the real battle, and that battle is with yourself. Letting go of hate is terrifying. You are standing bare, exposed, vulnerable. No distractions, no crutches to lean on. But in that vulnerability is where your true strength is born. When you face your pain head on, when you confront the agony you've been hiding from, you become something new. You shed the illusion of weakness and rise into your full power. Pain is the fire that purifies you. It is the hammer that shapes you into someone who cannot be easily broken. It strips away the excess, the false comfort, the lies that keep you chained, and it leaves behind something stronger, something unshakable. This book tells you many things. Take a moment and think about nature. A tree in winter doesn't cry over its lost leaves. It doesn't scream into the wind. It simply waits. It knows that winter is only temporary and that spring will return with renewed life. A wolf caught in a trap doesn't waste time lamenting its fate. It doesn't ask, "Why me?" It doesn't give in to despair. It fights. It survives. It waits for the moment when it can break free and rise again. And so must you. Pain is not forever. It is a season. It is a phase that will pass if you have the patience to endure it. Pain is temporary, but the strength you gain from surviving it, that is permanent. That will stay with you forever and make you unbreakable. So stop clinging to the past. Stop clinging to your anger, your bitterness. Let go of the weight that holds you back. Like the wolf, like the tree, learn to endure, to wait, to trust that after the storm, there will be calm. And in the stillness of that waiting, you will find your power. When you stand tall, when you finally face the pain that has haunted you, you will realize that it never had control over you. You will see that pain was never the enemy. It was always the guide, the mentor, the force that transformed you. So now I ask you, what will you choose? Will you continue to run from the storm? Will you keep hiding behind your anger, your excuses, your distractions? Or will you finally stand, face the storm, and embrace it? Will you let pain break you down only to rebuild you stronger, wiser, unstoppable? Pain is the greatest teacher, but only if you choose to listen to its lessons, only if you embrace it. So stand tall, rise, and allow pain to shape you into something unbreakable.